everybody, Loto for Life here, bringing you guys a brand new archetype analysis, and I know I'm kind of late on this one. I was intending to bring it out a lot sooner, but yeah, some things happened. I've just been super busy. So today we are talking about Cipher. Cipher is a deck that I personally really want to like. I really actually do like it. It's just got a lot of issues. So this deck is played by Kite in the Arc the Anime. It takes over his Galaxy Photon deck, and well, has some pretty good XCs and is focused on rank 8s, but is yet completely comprised of level 4s. And a level 1 and technically a level 3, but we'll get into this little outlier here. So this deck is all about making rank 8s, and it has 3 XCs, one of which is not out in TCG yet, and I think he's currently up for the poll for being in the next Shonen Jump, so if you really want him, go vote for that. So this deck is entirely dedicated to making rank 8s, and is a light-oriented attribute deck with machines, warrior, spellcaster, it's everywhere. It's kind of weird, but most of them are machines. Yet the main monsters are dragons. Odd. Anyway, so let's get on with the actual discussion. So first and foremost is Cipher Twin Raptor. This guy is a level 4, 1600 attack point, 800 defense, machine light monster. If your opponent controls a face-up monster that was special summoned from the extra deck and you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can discard one card, special summon one Cipher monster from your hand or deck. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except Cipher monsters. You can only use this effect of Cipher Twin Raptor once per turn. And right here is one of the big playmakers of the deck, yet is also one of the big issues with the deck. This card would be so much better if you were not locked into just Cipher monsters the turn you use it, because then he would be an easy rank 4 deck. Well, he would be an easy rank 4 monster. He would field a grave. He would field a deck because these two search whenever they are sent to grave, and it just is a really good overall design card. But my biggest issue is that he's one of the big main combo monsters of the deck. He's how you generally get your deck going, but you're locked into the archetype. And the issue with that is that there are a lot of times, due to this deck being super slow, you just are not able to make any of the big monsters, and that's generally because you just aren't able to get out the next guy, Cipher Wing. So Cipher Wing, he is machine light, level 4, 1400 attack, 1200 defense. If you control a Cipher monster or kinetic soldier in your monster zone, you can special summon this card from your hand. You contribute this card, increase the levels of all Cipher monsters and kinetic soldier you currently control by 4 until the end of the turn. So the general idea with this card is you spam out as many as you can, generally speaking, like as he did in the anime a lot of times. Spam out 3, use one of those effects, make the other 2 level 8, go into a rank 8. That or using Cipher Twin Raptor's effect, discarding something, and then special summoning a Cipher from deck, and then summoning out Cipher Wing from hand, using his effect, making Raptor and the other Cipher level 8, and then going for the deck's boss monster, since he'll be locked into it thanks to Raptor's effect. The issue with that is that due to the deck's search card, Cipher Mirror Knight, not happening for with the searching until the end of the turn, which I'll get to that here in a second once we get to him, is that you're generally not able to make a rank 8. So then you got your Cipher Twin Raptor and whatever Cipher monster you summon from your deck, and they just kind of sit there and you set your back row and hope to God nothing happens. I can't tell you how many times that has happened, and it is incredibly obnoxious. This deck would benefit so much from having a rank 4. I don't even care what it does. This deck would benefit so much just from having a rank 4, because then you could actually do plays other than summoning your Raptor, summoning out somebody, and then setting a whole bunch of back row, if you have it, due to just how inconsistent this deck is, and then hoping to God that your opponent doesn't kill you next turn. That is that's the biggest issue with this deck, is just how inconsistent it is, and the sheer lack of monsters, and heck, just cards in general. Taking out Kinetic Soldier, who's not technically part of the archetype, but is, because in Japan he was called Cipher Soldier, even though he literally does nothing for the deck, so let's just go ahead and deduct him from there. You look at this, 8 cards in the main deck, 3 in the extra deck, 2 of which are generally, one's summoned by basically nothing but rank ups, and then the other is just able to rank up himself. That is Really pathetic. And then look at all the anime cards that Konami has not given us yet. One of these is actually the next win condition in the anime too, by the way. So it's just really stupid. I feel like Konami just kind of printed this deck for no apparent reason. I don't get why they didn't just give Kite more Galaxy Photon support. Speaking of, another big thing that I have umbrage with this deck is this deck does not have any synergy with galaxies or photons. At least when they introduced galaxies in deck, so to add to the photon deck, they made it so that the decks work in tandem. Newer photon cards worked with galaxy cards, and galaxy cards worked with all photon or galaxy cards. Why do these not work with either of those two other archetypes, even though they have the exact same playstyle, generally speaking, and they do deck their spell and trap cards support each other? That is really stupid. Well, at least the Cipher cards support the galaxy cards, for generally speaking. That is really stupid with the simple fact that these cards do not have any synergy with the Galaxy Photon deck. Trust me, I have tried like 5 different builds of Ciphers. None of them work consistently, and it is driving me insane because I really want this deck to be able to be playable at the least in casual fun play, but it's not. It's really not. And let me get on with that rant later. Let's continue with the overview. Cipher Mirror Knight. This guy, he's level 4/0/0, Warrior Light, so he's searchable by Rhoda, which is really nice. This deck needs as much search power as it can possibly get. So his first effect you almost never use. When a Cipher monster you control is destroyed by battle and sent to your graveyard, you can discard this card, send one card from your hand or graveyard to the graveyard, and if you do, spell summon that destroyed monster. During the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can add one Cipher card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Cipher Mirror Knight once per turn. If it was just discard him, special summon that Cipher monster, it would be really good. The issue is that you got to discard another card. The only time this effect is actually good is when you have the next guy, Cipher a Tranger, in your hand, who is a level 1/0/0 light spellcaster. While this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can target a Cipher or Xyz monster you control, attach this card to it as Xyz material. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one Cipher spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. You can only use one Cipher Tranger effect per turn and only once that turn. So really, unless you have this card or another card that benefits from being in the graveyard, Cipher Mirror Knight that first effect is literally pointless. The big thing that you use him for is discard fodder for Twin Raptor, or for summoning off of Twin Raptor and then summoning out your Cipher Wings so you can go and make a rank 8. The issue with that, though, is that Mirror Knight, he plays... I actually really like his first effect, but the issue is that it almost never actually comes up to where you actually need to use it. In all my duels with this deck, I have never actually ran into a time where I needed to use it. And the reasoning for his first effect anyways in the first place is because of this deck's whole idea. This whole deck's gimmick is summoning out Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon and protecting him. Like, if you look at all the spells and traps, and also, of course, Mirror Knight's effect and a Tranger's effect, they're all defensive. They are all a very defensive deck. Cards. And this whole deck is defensive, yet Cipher Dragon's offensive. It's very, very weird, but also makes sense when you see it in a show, and it's, like, super awesome. I swear, I wish I had Kite's luck with drawing this inconsistent deck on a consistent basis to where it can actually be good. With that being said, though, Cipher a Tranger is a really good all-around design card. I really like this card, okay? Being able to search out any Cipher spell or trap card whenever it's sent to the graveyard, doesn't matter where it's being sent from the graveyard to, is really good. You can just Fool's Burial and get his effect, and then next turn use his other effect to attach him to a Cipher monster you control that's an Xyz monster, and then attach it to it as Xyz material. And neither of his effects are once per duel, but it is a hard once per turn clause. And this card is literally just a better version of Galaxy Eyes Cloud Dragon. I swear, it drove me nuts when they put the once per duel clause on Galaxy Eyes Cloud Dragon's effect to attach him to a Galaxy as its Xyz material. It made no sense. Okay, at least they did not make the same mistake with him with Tranger as they did with him. So really, really good card. I mean, hey, they have 4 pretty decent monsters here. All they need for this deck is more monsters, really. That's my biggest complaint. There's 4 monsters in the main deck, and really, honestly, while they're all good cards, they are almost all combo pieces, and you need more standalone cards for this deck to actually work. Not to mention this deck only has 1 spell card, and it's a rank up magic. So, rank up magic Cipher Ascension. During each player's main phase, That's right there is one of my main problems with this card right here. Target one Cipher exceeds monster you control. Special summon one from your extra deck. One Cipher exceeds monster that is one rank higher than that target by using that effect. By using the target as exceeds material. Blah blah blah. Attached to it. Blah blah blah. It gains this effect. This card gains 500 attack for each level 4 or higher monster you control. That is a really cool effect. I just wish it was for every monster you control, because the general idea is to use this on Galaxy S Cipher Dragon and then turn them into Neo Galaxy S Cipher Dragon, and then using Neo Galaxy S Cipher Dragon's effect, and he just being a giant powerhouse and attacking your opponent directly for game. That, and by the way, that's totally doable too. It's really awesome when you do it. The issue with is actually doing that. Now, it's really nice that Cipher Tranger is able to grab it. I don't know why Raid Raptors still don't have an easy to search, like an easy card that lets you search out any rank up magic. But hey, whatever. So, this is really good. My biggest issue with the rank up magic spell, though, is that you can only use it during either player's main phase. If you could do it during the battle phase, oh my god, this card would be an OTK enabler. Something this deck desperately needs. Or, you could be able to do it during your opponent's turn. And for instance, during the battle phase, oh hey, your Cipher Dragon died, okay, Mirror Knight's effect, discard him and Tranger, special summon Cipher Dragon back, still during your opponent's battle phase, activate Cipher Dragon, Cipher Ascension, rank him up into Neo Cipher, and then also first get your search on from a Tranger, and then end phase search off of Mirror Knight. That would be really, really nice, but you can't do it because it's only during the main phase. So yeah, excuse me for occasionally coughing. Not much I can really do about that. Now then, for the traps. This deck has 3 traps, and honestly, out of all of them, I think only one is really good. The other are kind of meh. So this is Cipher Spectrum. Normal trap card. If a Cipher exceeds monster or monsters you control that has exceeds material is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect and sent to your graveyard, target one of those monsters, special summon it, and if you do, special summon one exceeds monster from your extra deck with the same name as that exceeds monster. So this is really funny, okay? It punishes your opponent for destroying your ciphers, your Xyz monsters, and then you get back your monster, and then you get to bring out another copy of it from your extra deck. I love it. It's a hilariously funny card, but it's also super situational and never really comes up because this deck does what it's supposed to do pretty well, and that is protecting the castle. Good old Galaxy S Cipher Dragon. So this card is really more so of a, oh hey, you finally broke my castle, I'm going to bring them back and then bring out another one. And the reason for why you bring out another one, and heck, you'll see it with Double Cipher as well, is because in the anime, this deck's whole gimmick was having multiple monsters of the same name. Heck, Kite is one of the few people who plays 3 copies of his boss monster, as well as also 3 copies of Neo Galaxy S Cipher Dragon, but that's beside the point. And the whole reason for that is because of this anime currently exclusive card, Cipher Interfere, which was one of the first cards we saw from the deck in the anime, but we still haven't gotten it yet. Why, I don't know. So anyways, continuous spell card, Cipher Interfere. Once per turn, if you control 2 or more Cipher monsters with the same name and one of them battles during damage calculation, you can make its attack become double its current attack until the end of the battle phase. Why do we still not have this card? This card is the deck's whole gimmick. It ties the deck together, really, with its whole gimmick. And heck, actually makes having multiple Cipher Twin Raptors or Cipher Wings actually somewhat reliable, because then you can make one of your wings become 2800 or 32 and attack over stuff, and be able to just maintain an offensive position until you're able to make your Cipher Dragon. But no, we still don't have Interfere out yet, and I don't get why, and I don't think we'll ever get it, because Konami seems to not really want to support this deck, and it's driving me insane. Anyways, back to the real stuff that we have printed. Double Cipher, normal trap card. If your opponent controls a monster with the highest attack on the field, even if tied, target one Galaxy Eyes or Cipher Xyz monster you control that has XYZ material. Detach all Xyz material from that XYZ monster, and if you do, special summon one monster from your extra deck with the same name as that Xyz monster. So, you gotta discard. Yes, you get out another copy of your Cipher Dragon, but however, your opponent has to have a stronger monster than you, which if they're going to do that, why even bother summoning another copy of the same monster who's just going to get run over anyways? And then, also at the same time, you got to detach all the Xyz materials off of that monster, and that is really, really stupid, because it also locks you out that, hey, if you did use up all of your Xyz materials off of Cipher Dragon, Oh hey, tough luck. You can't use this card because it has to detach, which is stupid. Okay, this card is not very good at all, or at least in my experience. I don't know. Maybe some of you guys have had better luck with it, but I have not been liking this card at all. I like its gimmick. It would be really good if we had Interfere, but no, we don't. So, oh well. Anyway, so now in for the trap card for the deck that I think is stupid good, and I actually kind of want to play it in like my standard Galaxy Eyes decks. Normal trap card, Cipher Bit. Target one Galaxy Eyes or Cipher Exceed monster you control, attach this card to it as an Exceeds material, and if you do, the next time it would be destroyed by battle or card effect this turn. It is not. Okay, so this is the whole Protected Castle part of the deck, and it really does a good job at protecting your stuff. It protects it from battle, card effect, whatever, and gives it a new Exceeds material. I really like this card. Honestly, I really wish Double Cipher did something like this, and then summon another copy. I don't know, this deck really just needs more support in general. Right now, it is near impossible to build an actual deck around this, and it drives me nuts because, honestly, this deck deserves to be good. I don't know, I just feel like it. And it feels like it wants to be good. It's trying to be good. The monsters are good. The rank up spell is mostly good. One of the trap cards is like really good, one of the trap cards is kind of somewhat, and then the other trap card is really, really bad. But this deck is trying to be good, and it feels really bad, or at least I feel really bad, whenever I see a deck that's trying to be good, but no matter how much you try, it just isn't. Heck, I've tried mixing this deck with Zodiacs, and it's still not even good. The Zodiacs do all the legwork, and your Ciphers just sit in your hand like, hey, play me, please. I'm not doing anything. That is literally that's literally what happens every time I try out that build. And then if you mix them with anything else, they really, really counter each other, and it's so stupid. Mostly because of this right here, your main play enabler says, hey, you can't do anything else with anything other than Cipher stuff for the rest of the turn. It is so stupid. Anyway, so let's cover the XC's monsters. Starting off with the two that we actually have over in TCG land. Come on, there we go. Okay, so first and foremost is the main guy that you'll be making every time because, hey, let's face it, you're going to have to go into it with Friend Raptor's effect. Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon. This guy, I'm pretty sure everybody knows what his effect is, but just in case if you don't, I'll read it anyway. 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense, Dragon Light. Rank 8, 2 level 8 monsters you go into. Once per turn, you can detach one Exceeds material from this card, then target a monster, face up monster your opponent controls. You cannot control. Monsters you control cannot attack your opponent directly. Those two lines got like mixed up for me. Monsters you control cannot attack your opponent directly for the rest of this turn, except this card. Also, take control of the targeted monster until the end phase. But while this effect is applied, it has its effects negated, its attack becomes 3,000. Also, its name becomes Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon. Sorry about the cut there, I just got accused of eating my sister's ice cream. How fun is that? Anyway, so Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon is a really, really good card. Just being able to take control of an opponent's monster, it turns it into another copy of itself, which... Rage, interfere, why? Okay, that's the whole point of this deck, and we still don't have a freaking card that makes this deck all, a cohesive deck. But anyway, so Cipher Dragon is a really good card, but he's honestly better in other decks, like for instance Galaxy Photon, because you're able to take control of an opponent's Xyz and plop it and then turn it into a Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon, which you can't do in this deck because you'll be locked into your Cipher Dragons, and Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon is not a Cipher Dragon. So, yeah, fun. Really though, that does really bother me that this guy is better in other decks than the deck that he's the boss monster for. Even though he is really good and is the whole point of this deck and why you're playing it, because you want to troll the crap out of your opponent with this thing, and it is really awesome when you do. Even more so when you make his rank up version, Neo Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon. He's a 4,500 attack point, 3,000 defense, rank 9, Dragon Light, needs 3 level 9s to go into, but you'll never do that because you'd be silly to. If this card has a Cipher card as Xyz material, it gains this effect. And I love it how it's any Cipher card. It doesn't have to be a Xyz monster, so even if he dies and you bring him back somehow, and then you use like Cipher Bit on him, you can use his effect because you have a Cipher card attached to him as Xyz material. Once per turn, you can detach up to 3 Xyz materials from this card. Monsters you control cannot attack your opponent directly for the rest of this turn, except this card. Also, for each material detached, take control of one opponent's face-up monster. until the end phase, but while this effect is applied, they have their effects negated, their attack becomes 4,500, also their names become Neo Galaxy as Cipher Dragon. So, this card, the whole point of it, again, well, obviously we have Interfere, but also, this card is just absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so you can detach up to 3 Xyz materials, but so like let's say your opponent has like 5 monsters out, they pendulum summon 5 or something. You use its effect, you take control of 3 monsters, okay? Or you take control of, yeah, you'd probably want to take control of 3. They become this thing. They get 4,500 attack points. Well, they become 4,500. And then they can attack your opponent's monsters, and this guy can attack your opponent directly after they finish off your opponent's monsters. That is really scary. And if they're on attack position, your opponent's going to be taking an absolute crap ton of damage. And then, even at that, this thing, thanks to freaking Cipher Ascension, will be a stupid high amount of attack points. Because if you took control of non-Xyz monsters, they will... And they're all level 4 or higher, this thing will get 1,500 attack points for that, making him 6,000, meaning combined with the 4,500, like, damage from your opponent, from you attacking your opponent's monsters with your other monsters, well, with their own monsters turned into this thing, you'll be able to just OTK your opponent. That's what this thing is. He is the deck's OTK play until we get Interfere, if that ever happens. And you'll only get better if we do get Interfere. This thing is so good, and I love it. The only issue I have of it is that you can't do it during your opponent's turn. Same issue as with Cipher Dragon. Like, you can't do it during your opponent's turn and mess with your opponent's plays. That would make these cards, like, even more broken. But anyways, so, for the one card that we don't have, and I don't think he was ever played in the anime, would be interesting if he is in, like, an upcoming episode or something. Galaxy Eyes Cipher Blade Dragon. Rank 9, 3,200 attack, 2,800 defense, 3 level 9s to go into. You can also Xyz summon this card by using a rank 8 Galaxy as Xyz monster. You control as the Xyz material. The Xyz material attached to it can become, the Xyz material attached to him. Cannot be used as an Xyz material for an Xyz summon. Once per turn, you can detach Xyz material from you, this card. Then target one card on the field, destroy it. If this Xyz summon card is destroyed by your opponent's attack or card effect and sent to your graveyard, you can target one Galaxy as Cipher Dragon in your graveyard, special summon it. This card is really good. You're able to just pop a card anywhere. It doesn't matter what it is. I wish you could do it during your opponent's turn because it is just targeting destruction. Would be really good, but also at the same time, targeting destruction is just not very great. It's kind of like that weird... mix of where it's good but not very good. It's still good though. This card is really good. I hope we get it soon. I don't care if he's a Shonen Jump promo, although then again he'll be like $10 like every other Galaxy Eyes Xyz, which is annoying, but oh well. This card is also good for the fact that he floats back Cipher Dragon if he dies. So, like considering just how much protection this deck has, and then hey, during main phase 2 after he dies and you bring back Cipher Dragon, your opponent's going to main phase 2, you can flip up Cipher Ascension and turn Cipher Dragon into Neo Cipher Dragon, which is some pretty funny shenanigans. I really like this card. Also, a lot of people were thinking about using him instead of full armor because full armor can only pop face-up face-up cards, and this thing can pop any card. And then if you do use Cipher Dragon, you obviously get the floating effect, which is really nice. I do really like this card. Now then, for the anime support that we still have not gotten yet, but we may get in the future, hopefully. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So, first and foremost is a level 6 for some reason. Cipher Biplane. Machine Light, 1,000 attack, 2,000 defense. If a Cipher monster is spell summoned, you can spell summon this card from your hand. Once per turn, you can target one Cipher monster you control. Its level becomes 8. If this card was destroyed this turn, you can banish this card from your graveyard. If you do, add one Cipher Wing from your deck to your hand. I really like this card. If they were to print it, I would really want to buff it up so that if it's in the graveyard and was sent there this turn, you can banish it, add any Cipher card from your deck to your hand. That would really, really boost it up a lot. Other than that, I really like this effect. Just being able to special summon it whenever a Cipher monster is special summoned, that can lead to all sorts of shenanigans with Twin Raptor. Like for instance, Twin Raptor effect, discard Cipher Mirror Knight or a Stranger, doesn't matter. Special summon a Cipher from your deck, special summon Wing, effect of Biplane, special summon Biplane. And then I guess if you have multiple biplanes, you can special summon another biplane. Use Wings effect, target, make everybody become level 8, and then use the 2 biplanes to target themselves, make them level 8, and then go into 2 Cipher Galaxy has Cipher Dragons. Sorry, kind of lost my train of thought while I was thinking of that combo. So that really could benefit this deck. Not to mention just any new monsters would really help out this deck a lot. And it's really nice. I really do hope we do get this card sooner rather than later, if at all. But considering how Konami's like trying to wrap up Arc V and push it out of the window with the current sets and stuff, I get a feeling that we're not going to be getting this card or any of the rest of support for a while. Next up is Cipher Diffusion. Normal spell card. Change the attack of one Cipher monster with 3 files or more attack you control to 0, then target another Cipher monster you control. This turn, monsters other than that target cannot attack. Also, that target can make up to 3 attacks during the battle phase. I love this card. It's so mean. You target one of your... So the whole idea is okay, you use Cipher Dragon effect, take control of an opponent's monster, that monster becomes 3,000, Cipher Dragon, okay? It can't attack directly, and only Cipher Dragon can attack directly. So what you do is you activate Cipher Diffusion, target the monster you just took control of, and that turned into Cipher Dragon. Its attack drops down to 0, and then you target your Cipher Dragon who can attack directly. He can still attack, but now he can attack 3 times. Which means he can also attack 3 times directly, which is 9,000 damage, which is really, really, really scary. I really like this card. I hope we do get it. They'll probably like put some stupid restriction on it, like it can only attack 3 monsters or something other, or some other stupid restriction. I don't know. I really do hope we do get this card sometime. It's a really cool card. I like it. I also like how it kind of looks like the Fusion Wave motion, like for the card art. Next up, rank up Magic Cipher Shock. Oh boy, lots of text. Quick play spell card. During the battle phase, target one battling Cipher exceeds monster control. It cannot be destroyed by that battle. Also negate the effects of all monsters that were on the field when this card was activated until the end of this turn. After damage calculation, if the targeted monster battled end the battle phase, then spell summon from your extract one Cipher XYZ monster that is 1 rank higher than that target by using it as its exceeds material. So, not only do you target one of your battling Cipher monsters, it cannot be destroyed by that battle, and then it negates all monster effects on the field that were activated when whenever this card was activated. And then at the end of battle phase, it negates and ends the battle phase after that battle. It then ranks it up. I love this card. It's a funny card and really kind of works well with like it kind of like counters Cipher Ascension in the sense that Cipher Ascension can only be used during the main phase. This card can only be used during the battle phase. I do really like this card. I don't know what they would do with it if it were to get printed. It's a very interesting card, and I really do hope we get it. Because again, this deck needs all the support it can get. But like, look at all the spell and trap support this deck has not gotten yet. And look at the one monster from the anime. These more monsters, god dang it. Next up is rank up Magic Cipher Pursuit. Quick play spell card. If the difference between your LP and your opponent's is at least 2,000, target a Cipher exceeds monster you control. Special summon from your extract one Cipher exceeds monster that is 1 rank higher than that, the target, and then rank it up. And then you can, and if you do, you can activate that exceeds monster's effect that is activated by detaching its own materials. So I think due to that weird wording, I think it's saying that you can use its effect right then and there. So you can do that monster's effect during your opponent's turn, which is scary because then you can use Neo Galaxy Cipher Dragon's effect right away after rank getting into it, which means you can troll your opponent and take control of anything they're trying to use against you. We already covered Cipher Interfere, but if you need to refresh your memory, it's a continuous spell card. Once per turn, if you control 2 or more Cipher monsters with the same name, and one of them battles during damage calculation, you can double that monster's attack until the end of the battle phase. Again, really good card. I don't get why we still don't have it. It is the whole point of the deck, pretty much. And we really, really, really need it. Next up is continuous trap card, Cipher Shield. I love that artwork, by the way. This is a rainbow. It's pretty. While you control 2 or more Cipher monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, you take no effect damage. I really like this effect. It's weird. While you control 2 or more Cipher monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle, and you take no effect damage. I like how it says you take no effect damage, but no battle damage. That balances it out. Yeah, sure, your Ciphers can't be destroyed in battle, but you still take the battle damage, but you won't take any effect damage, which is very, very interesting. I like this card, and it would give the deck some much needed stall power, because I can't tell you how many times where I've just had to sit on a Twin Raptor and a Mirror Knight I just summon from the deck because I can't do crap with them. So this card would really help out the deck, I think. Especially if they were to like give it some buffs, like maybe a graveyard effect or something where you can banish it, your opponent can't attack Cipher monsters until the end of the turn, or something like that. That'd be interesting. And then Cipher Chain, which does not have any a picture for some reason. Continuous trap card. If you take battle damage, activate this card by targeting all monsters on the field. When one of those monsters is destroyed, destroy all other monsters, and if you do, inflict damage to both players equal to the total attack of these destroyed monsters. So the idea is to combo it with Shield, generally speaking. So basically, oh hey, your monster, you take battle damage, activate this, target all monsters on the field. If one of those monsters is destroyed, everybody gets destroyed, and then oh hey, everybody takes the battle damage equal to the attack of those destroyed monsters, but you won't thanks to Cipher Shield. And then you're like, oh hey, but wait, won't your monsters be destroyed too? Well, not if you activate Cipher Bit targeting one of your things, and it won't be destroyed. So yeah, I really like this card, and it can lead to all sorts of some funny combos and stuff. So, I think I've made it clear in this video my thoughts on Ciphers. This deck desperately wants to be good, and it has a lot of potential. It needs more monsters, though. That's the big thing. It needs more main deck monsters. It needs more XCs monsters. I would like to see at least one or two, maybe rank 4s especially, and maybe a rank 8 or 2, like some more. Something to just give you more options. That would be really nice. This deck is lacking options, and it's lacking support. So, really, with all due respect, I really do like this deck, but it's such a flop right now. Konami, you need to give this deck more support. It's just not playable right now, and it's driving me nuts. It's not even playable in a casual sense. I can't play it with my friends because it's just so bad. Anyway, so guys, tell me what you guys think of Ciphers. Do you agree with me that like the deck really is desperately trying to be good but just won't be or can't be? Do you think Konami will ever give it the rest of the support that it needs? Do you think they'll ever give it more support in general? Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and see you all later.